the studio Deacon Joseph Anifuoshi, the chairman of the Allied People's Movement, APM, and the organizing secretary of the Interparty Advisory Council. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
As IPAC organizing secretary, how has IPAC influenced political activities in Ekiti State?
As you are aware that IPAC is the umbrella body of all political parties in Ekiti State. Statutorily, the chairman of IPAC, Honorable Daramala Wala, is the #1 politician in Ekiti State. And we have been watching with keen interest about the development since the present government came on board. From our own assessment, His Excellency Biodun Oyebanji has been doing well, and by the KPI which we have put in place as the key performance indicator to actually monitor how governance of performances are measured. So we as IPAC, we have been monitoring that, and we believe that if given enough support, he can still do better, because the party he represents, as APC, incidentally is the general secretary for this group in Ekiti State. That's Interparty Advisory Council to IPAC. And as a member of this group, since he has won that election, we have been giving him the support to enable Ekiti people get the benefits of the democracy, that's the dividends we've been agitating for. We are not in opposition as IPAC, but we are member of Ekiti to make Ekiti works. And whatever policies being put in place by the governor immediately after election, it becomes the governor of all of us. We should support him to succeed and for the actualization of those policies. But when we now go to election period, we start what we call politicking. Now we are in the governance system, and we want the people to benefit and get the much expected dividend of democracy that we have been agitating for.
You are particularly silent in the Ekiti space. We don't hear so much about you. How ready are you for the election coming ahead?
I used to say something. With my experience, exposure, with my capacity and competency in administration, to every organization, there are rules of engagement. What do I mean by that? You must do the right thing at the right time. If you do the right thing at the wrong time, you get a wrong result. You can't get a result. So INEC, as the umpire that guides electoral processes, has given us his timetable. We cannot jump the gun. We cannot start campaigning or start agitating when we are seeing in a governance period. Our target now is for Bao, whoever is the governor. It may not be Bao, whoever is the governor of the state. Since we have a policy, Ekiti first, anywhere we are, so that we can allow this man to function properly and support him to succeed. So as APM chairman, we have been working on the ground. That's what we call under G. Mobilizing, getting our people's right, getting people to do what we are supposed to do under G. But when we now get to the drawing board, we now open up what you are supposed to do. If INEC now giving us blow the whistle for us to start the electoral process. But as at now, as APM, that's Allied People's Movement chairman and members across the state local government, we are doing what we are supposed to do. We are not lawbreakers. We believe in maintaining law and to ensure that whatever we are doing is in consonant with electoral practices.
You are the organizing secretary of the Interparty Advisory Council. How would you access the governance of the present governor of Ekiti State in the past 3 years?
I'm in this studio wearing two caps. The chairman of Allied People's Movement, that's supposed to be play an opposition role. 2, as a member of the Interparty Advisory Council, where we have the APC as our general secretary and regular secretary, we are to play an advisory role to ensure that this government succeeds. There is what we call equilibrium. My assessment will be marked together. We must have an equilibrium. And my assessment is that Bao is performing above average in terms of infrastructure development. When I talk about infrastructure, There are roads being built for easy accessibility of the people. Then to talk of agriculture, it's doing great for our youth. It's bringing what we call dormitory in most of these farm settlements, Yemero, and so many other places I cannot mention. It's doing access road, the College Bemo Road, Are, Oye Road, Yemero. From there's another road from Itaji to Ijelu to Okeaku, through what do you call it? The other towns and villages, that place where we have farm settlement. So as far as I'm concerned, now it's just give release of money, millions of naira. The other time we released about 1 billion naira to settle the retirees, pensioners. It's working with the federal government too to ensure that they get what it deserves at the federal level. As at now, we have never had this number of appointments from the federal government in time past. The chief of army staff, EFCC chairman from Ekiti, ambassadors, chairman of NPA board in Lagos. I cannot continue to mention that. We have a minister too, Delalake. We have never had this so good. And I believe that without the support of the present governor, Biodun Oyebanji, we cannot have all this thing we are having in Ekiti. Because this is not, since 1999, we have had governments. And we never had this, I will call it multitudes of appointments. But we still need more. We are all parties. We are appealing to Governor Biodun Oyebanji to still look at the way that at time of opposition, to recommend us too. We are people of foresight and what we call knowledge to move things with our expertise. We have the capacity, we have the competency, and we have the commitment. And those are the three things that can drive development. So we give pass mark to Bao. That notwithstanding, Oke Ayoba is still vacant by 2026.
Recently, there has been a spate of empowerment by representatives of Ekiti State. Do you think this is in the best interest of the state?
Okay, I will say, if I say yes, you may misquote me. If I say no, you may misquote me. Ekiti is crying for industrial development. If you analyze this empowerment that is going on through our representative, the senators, like MOB, this one that was done recently, it was done for only ruling party members. I start to be quoted. The oppositions or the IPAC members were not involved. And the moment you contest an election and you win, automatically you now represent everybody, not your party alone. The senators, like Siri, Honorable Siri, our respected senator, the South, Modu, our House of Rep members, like Akin Layomi Kolawole, like Vice Marshal Ojuawo, like our respected man, brother from Umu, that is Bafem. They need to put everybody on board. If you want to do empowerment, let everybody be involved. Get to the stakeholders. It's a very good development, but it's not the best for Ekiti. There's what we call good, better, and best. We need the best, the better and best for Ekiti. If you look at other states in the country, Ogun, most of the industries that in that place are not built by government. They are built by individual and stakeholders. If you now start, you started empowering individuals. Your wife was giving grinding pepper machine, my wife giving one, this one giving one. In the street, you have 10 grinding machine. It's no more commercial. It's going to be used personally because nobody will come to you to grind pepper. Same thing with what we call sewing machine. Same thing with Okada. All these Okada, they are distributing. Let me tell you something. By the time all these Okada get to everybody, you have more Okada in Ekiti than the population. So I'm advising, let these people, these representatives, sit down. Let them harmonize these finances. We have enough resources in Ekiti. Raw material resources to get resources done. Like nails, like rice industry. You can get what we call biscuit industry at Ilawe, where we have what we call bananas and plantain. There's a company in China that uses plantain and banana rods. What they call it chick, to manufacture the women wigs, ankara, and some other things. Those things can be harmonized together. In terms of this, instead of this, that's the second phase I'm talking about. It's good they are empowering people, self-sustaining. If you self-sustaining yourself without people patronizing you as a pepper grinder, as a tailor, because we have many of them on the street. And if care is not taken, most of these Okada and the Keke, they will be sold off to meet personal ends. But let us look at inward how we can industrialize Ekiti. In the next 1 year of BAU, let us set up a cottage, at least one cottage industry, with the support of most of our minister we have at the federal level and others. Maybe nail industry or even biscuit industry to be started somewhere that we employ, or even plywood industry. I was once with African Timber and Plywood in Sapele, the biggest plywood industry in Africa. We had over 2,000 junior staff and they were working. We don't need to import all this. We are importing a lot of things. I was at one of these outlets in Ekiti Dominion. I found that most of the things that they are imported. These are the things that we can get done here and put in that place and it will fly. We have competent people here. People that can, furniture people. The government is to give an every environment. Security, land, and some other things. Formerly, we have textile industry. We can go back to that. Instead of giving everybody sewing machine, instead of giving everybody what we call Okada, instead of giving everybody what we call it Akoto, to carry who? This, our representatives should come together and do this financially. Then, let the governor to work on foreigners, like the Chinese people, the Indonesia, and none of them, they come and they will do investment in the Ekiti. If we can't continue to rely on what we call this federation account, it will improve our IGR, it will improve our per capita income, it will improve, people will start getting salary apart from government. We have more than enough what we call civil servants in Ekiti than any bigger state in Nigeria. That should be discontinued. And that is why we're having backlog of pensioners. We have more pensioners in Ekiti than any other state in the country. It is unacceptable. As far as I'm concerned, Interparty Ekiti is the best way forward. If we start with all these things, people will start going back to plant cotton. There's nobody is planting cotton in Ekiti again, as we had in the past, in the 60s and 70s, when we were at home. Let the governor gather people that has worked elsewhere together, let them put us together. You see, we don't want conspiracy governance. We want people that actually know what has happened in the past. There's something that has never worked elsewhere except being in governance. Never work in industry. It is important and imperative for us to actually have what we call industrial growth. We must have industrial growth, that is development, like we had in the past during the Awolowo era and co, where we have textile in Ekiti. The cassava we are planting now, do you believe that we are exporting that to other states? We can do what we call starch in Ekiti and people will buy it. We can do what we call the other things we can use cassava for, apart from all these people will carry trailers to Ekiti to spoil our roads and take it outside Ekiti. We can manufacture things, finished product from cassava and to go to the international market, not even in Nigeria, to outside the...
Now, there is the general thinking that the APC is surreptitiously like the state of emergency in River State, and then they prolong the suspension of Nastasia and some of these trending issues. There is the general thinking that the APC is surreptitiously muscling, taking over these states where these things are happening in the country, see, an underhanded way to dominate.
You see, Mr. Moderator, let me say something. To every organization, to every atmosphere, there are rules of engagement. You see, I'm one of those that watch with seeing Christ what happened in River State. there are some things. They see a stitch in time saves 9. If you look at that language, it's a language that if twisted, if you look at it, if unravel, you see a lot of things there. If things are not nipped into the bud at the right time, it escalates to what is not acceptable by some people that are naive to the system. There's what we call, there's no excuse for ignorance. Ignorance is not an excuse. How can a city governor sit down, you are a governor, and you got this thing on a platter of gold, and you sat down and you allowed him to deal to that level without checking yourself and checking the people? This is an aberration. So what I will say is that, what happened in Rivers State? The presidency cannot sit down, cannot look elsewhere where his house. Rivers State is one of the houses built by the presidency to be on fire. It will burn. It can even burn up to Abuja. So you see, he has taken the right step at the right time. People started bombing what we call all installation, all this and this. It was wrong. The governor should not have allowed that one to happen, and even including the wiki we talk about, and so on and so forth. As far as we are concerned, personally, it happened in Ekiti during the Obasanjo regime, Fauci regime. So that was the time when the law and order was about to be broken down. The constitution was about to be step upon. That step of the constitution and go scot free. How can you demolish what we call a state house assembly for 8 months and there was no plan to rebuild it because you are the fear of uncertainty? How can you be working with 3 out of 26 or 29 or what do you call it? Does it make 1/3? Those are aberrations. I'm very unfortunate that there has not been political school of thought for these people before they get to positions. Most of them are very naive. It's like feeding a 1-year-old or 6-month-old child with a pounded yam, and they're struggling to swallow it. That's actually what is happening with the political system in Nigeria. Most of them do not have the capacity to govern, but because of their loyalty, they put them in their position and problems started. So, as far as we are concerned, I'm concerned, Rivers State, the president has done what? Because you have to do it. He has to do it at that time he did it. If you talk of Natasha, well, you have to look at history. Let us look at what actually started, how it started, what happens. I mean, there's a lot of things on the net as regard Natasha, Senator Natasha, Pabio, the Rivers Clinic and so on and so forth, the what we call the Benue and so on and so forth, and the former governor. Now, I'm not going to make more comment on that because I've read much about it, but it was now becoming like a personal vendetta than serious administrative issues that we are supposed to get. And we have to checkmate it. Both Natasha and Akpabio, they were both not in line with what we call political history.
Well, you bet your mind on issues trending and in the party activities and all of that, and I'm sure our viewers out there are enlightened. They've got to know more than they knew about some things. You're welcome very much.
My parting word for our people: democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And we must see it like that. In Ekiti, we must support this government to succeed. That notwithstanding, there must be what we call criticism in terms of what we call constructive for the government to do better. I'm not saying it's not the way it's doing, but it must do better. The passive oppositions must be carried along. It's trying its best. A lot of oppositions are in government. We in IPAC, we are not oppositions. We are supposed to be part of the government because good governance is what we want. It should not look away from industrial revolution that we're supposed to have in Ekiti in this century.
People of the Fountain,